Hey, I'm Marty Schupak with Schupak Sports, and today I'm going to do a kind of a mini clinic. I'm going to show you my staple warm-up drills that I use at almost every practice. I did do a variety of things to mix things up, just so the kids just don't get into the habit of they think they know exactly what's coming up. But also at the end, I'm going to show you a fun game that I did and make sure you stay on because the three drills I go over, I located in my archives videos of them. The quality I can't say is 100%, but it's pretty good quality. So just stick around. When I was coaching the first few years, I didn't spend a lot of time having my team warm up physically, like doing jogging around the infield, doing jumping jacks. It's extremely important. And even if you just do it for 5 or like 7 minutes, it really is. And they've done studies that show you, even the youngest kids that warm up, it can help prevent injuries. But besides that, you're teaching these young boys and girls lifetime habits. So when they're adults, and if they're playing pickleball, tennis, or even golfing, they should warm up, and it's just a great habit to get into. So we do about anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes of warming up, and it's very basic stuff. You can do arm rotations with both arms, jumping jacks. Usually we run around the field. If you could do it, and I did it, it's always good if the coach could jog with them. The kids love that. Okay. After that, and our teams had like 12 players. I divide them up into groups of four. And my thing is running practices. I try not to run the practice once the season is on the way more than uh, 90 minutes. And I try to keep it to like, an hour and 15 minutes. And over a period of time, if you're coaching for a while and you have a repertoire of drills, you'll understand in your head and you'll be able to think ahead and you'll see your practices will be more efficient. You don't have to have 3 hour practices, okay? It's a little bit of work. You have to hustle a little bit. You have to be in half decent shape, but you could do it. And when you do it enthusiastically. Remember, enthusiasm is contagious too. So what I do is this, and this is not the best picture because it's not show true 12 kids, but I usually have four kids at third base, four kids at home, four kids at first base. I call this the third base drill. Okay. And what I do it with two balls. I have a catcher, he's holding a ball. I'll hit the ball to third base, he'll throw it to first base. Now, when I see him let go of the ball, okay, I'll start to hit the next ball to the next player. The first player will go to the end of the line. All right. So we do that and we give him a few chances and then we rotate. Now, there are a couple of things. First of all, when I have the four players at catcher, it gets to be too busy if I'm swinging a bat. So I just have one person catch the ball from first base for like three balls and then three chances. And then I switch. Excuse me. And when I switch, I make sure I'm not in a hitting mode. I turn around. Safety is the most important thing. The other thing is this, I usually keep a couple of baseballs at my feet. So if a ball goes by, I just yell out to leave the ball if the guy misses it. All right. Now, this is very important. On the last ball I hit, a ground ball, I'll yell bobble drill. And what that is doing is I tell the players to pick up the ball, drop it, then pick it up barehanded and throw to first. What I'm trying to do is condition the players to get used to making a play, even if they don't catch it cleanly. I've seen young kids, they'll bobble the ball and drop it, and they'll just give up on it. Most of the plays in baseball, if it's a one bobble play, you could still make the play at first base and get the out unless the base runner is a real speedster. Okay, so let me just go over this and see, make sure you understand. I'm at home with a bat. We use two balls. After I hit it, I turn around and the catcher flips me the ball. He takes the ground ball, he throws it to first. After he goes to the end of the line. I I hit it to the next player. It goes on, and the last chance they have, I yell bobble drill. Now, after they're done, I will yell rotate. Players at third go to first, first go home, home go to third base. All right. Once the players get used to it, it goes very, very smoothly. And why do I do this type of drill? I like to use third base because that's the longest throw from the infield. And what I do with this drill, and I also do it with the drill you're about to see, the beginning of the year, I like to shorten the field. So I might have them move in a little bit. All right. And I also tell them early in the season, especially the young players, if you're coaching like 8 or 9 year olds and you're doing this, tell them you don't have to reach first base on a fly ball. As long as it's accurate, I don't care if it gets there in 2 or 3 bounces. All right, so I'll hold it up close again. Third base drill. I have 4 players at each base. Be careful with the catching because you're swinging a bat. All right, and let's see, that's a bat. I'm looking at my notes in the back. That's the third base drill. That's one of my staple drills that I did almost every practice. I would follow that with a drill I call the line throw drill. And again, I'm using the left side of the infield, third base, but I'm also using shortstop. And this goes very, very quick. My goal when I run practices is to get as many repetitions as I can in the shortest period of time. Now, a little caveat about that. You can rush through the repetitions, but you just don't want quantity repetitions. You want quality repetitions. You're going to have to stop once in a while if there's a teaching a moment. For instance, if you want to tell the player, step towards the base you're throwing to. What I do in this drill, okay, I line up baseballs at third base and at shortstop on the ground. There are 2 rows. I'm usually over here. When I say go, this player runs, picks up the first ball, throws it to first. After he throws it to first, he goes to the end of the line. I usually have 2 players at first base and a bucket. Okay. Then I go next, I point to the ball here. The guy at shortstop will pick up the ball, he'll throw it to first base, he goes to the end of the next line. This goes very, very, very fast. It's a good drill. Again, a lot of repetitions. It's kind of like the third base drill. Again, don't rush through it though. If there's a teaching point, you want to give the players a teaching point about throwing or an accuracy too. So those are my 2 staple drills. Again, I'm going to go over a fun drill in just a moment, but make sure you stick around because I'll have a video at the end of this of all 3 drills. I just want to mention a couple of things and tell you about also if you want to make a trip. But make sure you have a parents' meeting at the beginning of the year. It won't cut out all of your complaints, but about 50 to 60% of complaints will be cut out. Try to ask your parents if they have an updated hearing and eye test for the players. In my 30 years of coaching, after the first 10, I started doing this. And I had 2 players in particular where I saw something was wrong and they had an eye test. And then they became different ball players. One ball player became a very good high school pitcher, and the other one became a tremendous first baseman. With the hearing test, I think that's still very important. It's a great story. I don't want to get into it. If you want to Google the great coach Vince Lombardi and Larry Brown, the running back, just Google those 2 and put a comma and put hearing aid. and you'll see a great story that Vince Lombardi recognized he had a great talent, but he thought something was wrong. And at the time, he got permission from the league. They didn't allow it. They put in a hearing aid in the helmet because he just saw he was getting off on the count a hair too slow. After they put the hearing aid in his helmet, he was a different ball player. Actually, I believe he led the NFL in rushing either 1 or 2 years. So a hearing test and an eye test, very, very important for your team, and make sure you have the parents meeting. If you're a huge baseball fan, I just want to throw this in. I live outside of New York City. If you have a chance and you love baseball, go up to Cooperstown, visit the Baseball Hall of Fame. I go like every other year. I usually go when it's not crowded in January or February, but go up there, take your son and daughter up there. Upstate New York is beautiful. When people hear about New York, they just think of New York City, but it's gorgeous up there. There are other things to do. There's corn and glass, but if you love baseball, please go visit the Hall of Fame. If you go in the summer, you're going to wait in lines, but it's well worth it. Okay, so I showed you the two staple drills. I love to end practice on a high note. Now, I love to have, oh, the kids love batting practice. And I just want to tell you this. Do not deny your kids batting practice. When I first started coaching and I got very lucky and I thought I invented baseball, I tried to develop other coaching techniques where one practice I'd work on offense, one practice I'd work on defense. Big mistake. All right. And I ended up being realistic. I didn't invent the game of baseball, and I learned that kids live for batting practice. Do not deny them that. And what I do with batting practice, and I have a whole video I do, and I'll update it like probably next week on how to run an efficient batting practice. And you'll get anywhere from 25 to 35% more swings for each person. Okay. But I, I I make sure when kids come to practice, I give them a number. And the first person is one, second one is two, third person is three. What this is doing is that is the order that they're going to hit in batting practice. So the first person there who has number one will bat first. You'll find kids will start coming to practice early and they'll start arguing who's there first, whatever. It's a great technique. Another technique I've done once in a while, instead of the two staple drills I just showed you, I'll run a mini batting practice. As soon as they come in there, I'll say, Johnny, get at bat. Billy, you're up next. And the kids that come after that, they're going to say, why are we doing batting practice? Am I late? But you're just showing them that if you get to practice on time, sometimes some good things happen, okay? What I like to do once in a while at the end of practice, you have kids that are different talented kids. Some of the less talented kids will never hit a home run. I like to end practice after batting practice sometimes on a game, home run derby. And I do it like this. All right. I shorten the field. And we had a fence behind us, and nothing makes a young player feel good better than if they hit the ball over the fence. I start at second base. 10-year-olds, if they're up, the second base is their home plate. I put another drop down base behind it. That's for 11-year-olds, and another one here for 12-year-olds. I'll pitch from here, and I'll give them, let's say, 5 swings. And I want to tell you, it's the greatest thing in the world when you see a young player who will never have a chance to hit a home run in home run derby. Another game I also do like this is I do a tennis racket home run derby. Well, they'll swing a tennis racket with a tennis ball. They love that also. So that's a fun drill. I skipped everything in between on the practices. I showed you I talked about the warm up and showed you my two staple drills. Of course, there's a lot in between, and again, another hint I have is try to integrate fun drills with skill drills. So the formula I use, I would do 2 skill drills and then one fun drill. And make sure you spend 10 to 15 minutes on base running. You could get an extra 1 to 2 runs if you practice base running. Okay, and now that's I'm going to wrap that up. Again, don't leave, because I have 3 videos quickly. They're about, each one is about a minute long, so it's 3 extra minutes. But people always ask me for resources. This is a good one. Championship baseball drills. Okay, we have 115 drills in that. It's a very, very good book. And the other one is, this is a good one, baseball coaching. You'll use this as a resource throughout your coaching career in baseball and softball. Okay, so stick around. We're going to have those 3 videos, and please subscribe if you can. If you can, give me a thumbs up and give me any comments if you want to add to this. If you have any idea, your own ideas, you know, there's no law against making my drills better. So stick around. Let's go right to the videotape.
The third base drill is an excellent warm-up drill. We have a third baseman, first baseman, and catcher, each with a backup. 2 balls are used. The coach hits between 3 and 5 ground balls to the third baseman, who throws to first.
Hey, let's rotate, guys. Hustle.
After both players at third base have a turn, the coach will yell, "Rotate," and the players will rotate positions clockwise. The benefit of the drill is developing good infield throwing and catching skills. The line throw drill is a warm-up drill. Players assemble in 2 lines between third base and shortstop. Each player picks up the ball closest to him and throws to first base. You set up 2 lines of balls in front of each of the players. Once a player takes his turn, he moves to the end of the next line. The benefit of this drill is improving accuracy throwing to first base. The favorite batting drill is home run derby. This is the one time we tell players to try to hit home runs. To make it fair, we move home plate toward the fence. To make it fairer for the younger players, we have a home plate for each age. The younger the player, the closer home plate is to the fence. While this drill is fun, it also helps players realize that swinging for the fences is more often than not unsuccessful. This is a great reward drill at the end of a productive practice. Each player gets 5 tries, and they receive 1 extra swing each time a home run is hit.